Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to all of you this evening. We begin our service tonight on page 10 with Hinei Matov.
Hinei Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei Matov shevet achim gam yachad. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov u'manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov u'manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov, hinei matov. Yadadai, yadadadadadadai. Hinei matov, hinei matov. Yadadai, yadadadadadadai. Hinei matov u'manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov u'manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad.
We continue with Shir Chadash on page 344.
Shiru Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai shir chadash. Shiru Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru, shiru Adonai shir chadash.
We continue with the lighting of the Shabbat candles, and it is my honor to call on Rachel Blumenfeld, our board member, to light the candles.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, v'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav
continue on page 20 with L'chad Dodi and verses
1, 2, 5, and 9. And we ask that before the ninth verse, we rise and face the doors. Not yet, but we'll give you a cue. But we rise and face the doors as our custom before the ninth verse, page 20. Shabbat nekavela l'chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad hishmianu el hamiuchad Adonai echad ushmo echad l'shem ultiferet v'litila l'chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela l'chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mikor haberacha merosh mikedem nesucha sov ma'aseh v'machshava techila l'chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela l'chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela Hitoreri, kiva ore kumi ori, uri, shida beri, kevod Adonai, alayich nigla, l'chadodi, likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela l'chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela boi v'shalom ateret bala גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמונה עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה l'chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela l'chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela.
Page 27. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer, on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of prayer, of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days, lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways.
Chatzi Kaddish can be found on the facing page. Yitgada Shemei Rabbah Be'amad divrach yirutei Be'amnich malchutei Be'hayechon u'b'yomechon u'b'chayedecho b'eit Yisrael B'gala u'b'zman karib v'yimeru Amen Yehesh merava mivarach le'alam u'lal me'amaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalah Shemei dekudasha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushvechata v'nechemata da'miran v'alma v'meru Amen.
Please rise for the Baruch Hu. On page 30, Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'dvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach sharim, uvitvuna mishaneh itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader uchavim, b'bishmerateim barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, Golir or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom u'mevi laila, uma'avdil ben yom u'ven laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Amen. Page 32.
Ahavata חיינו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם ולילה נגע יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל שמע
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם בארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Page 30, page 30, no,
Page 41.
page 41, that's correct. Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
Ya ba ba bim bida ba ya ba bim ba ya ba bim bida ba ya ba bim bam ay 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 ya ba bim bam ay 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 ya ba bim bam mi khan mo khan by mi madonai mi וקיים לפני משה ומרים זרי ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד יפה בבים בדבר יפה בבים בם יפה בבים בדבר יפה בבים בם ay 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 yaba bim bam ay 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 yaba bim bam venema ki fara Adonai et Yaakov ugelam yad chazak mimenu Baruch ata Adonai Ga'al Yisrael.
Hashkivenu on page 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom V'hamidenu shomreinu leChaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom V'hamidenu shomreinu leChaim Ufros aleinu Sukan shlomecha Ushmor tzitenu vo'enu Ufros aleinu Sukan shlomecha Ushmor tzitenu uvo'enu Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom V'hamidenu shomreinu leChaim Baruch atah Adonai HaPorei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim Amen. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat lidorotam beritonam V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat lidorotam beritonam Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat lidorotam beritonam Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת שמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
The tefillah on page 46, starting with Adonai Sefatai.
We rise
Please
as,
rise.
as we are able. Adonai Sefatai Tiftach Lefi Ani Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevii Geulah Livnei Bneihem, L'Iman Shemo V'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol tara lehoshia. Morid atah, Mechakel hayim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim. Somech naflim berofel cholim, U'matir asurim, U'mekayem emunato, L'yishenei Yaakov, Milchama v'chal gevurot, U'midon elot, Melech levit u'mechayem, U'maytziach Yeshua, v'ne'emanata l'chayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Michayeh hakol. Atah kadosh shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Please be seated. And we continue with Shalom Rav on page 60.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki Atahu Melech Adon Lecho HaShalom. Ki Atahu Melech Adon Lecho HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Please turn to page 253. For the Misha Berach, we say a prayer this evening for Sydney Ellis Parsons. Is there anyone else that you would like to share with us? Any other names?
A moment and prayer of healing. Once again, the words from Misha Berach can be found on page 253. And we hold these names, the ones said aloud and the ones we are keeping close to our hearts. We hold them dear as we sing these words of prayer and of healing. To make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach
silent prayer follows. Pray as you wish.
Say shalom, shalom bimroma. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Say shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. Oh, say shalom, shalom b'rama. Say shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'al kol Yisrael.
We continue with the Kiddush, which you'll find on page 5. Once again, I have the honor of calling on Rachel Blumenfeld, and I invite you to rise for the Kiddush on page 5. Please rise.
Let us praise God with this symbol of joy and give thanks for the blessings of the past week, for life and strength, for home and love and friendship, for the discipline of our trials and temptations, for the happiness that has come to us out of our labors. You have ennobled us, O God, by the blessings of work, and in love have sanctified us by Sabbath rest and worship as ordained in the Torah. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath to be hallowed unto the eternal your God.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pori hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho Be'ala uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehillah lemikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim ki banu v'achata v'otanu akidasha mikol באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן. לחיים.
We continue to rise as we begin our Torah service and we take out the Torah.
על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, לעולם אמן. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה I cannot remember the last time I forgot to put on my mic pack, and something about leading with a different service partner, and it being the summer. We got up, we started, and I was like, I don't have a mic on. So I'm glad this one has batteries in it today. I'm introducing, right?
I'm sorry.
I'm introducing, right?
Yes.
Are you teaching yet?
No.
Okay, great, awesome, that's all right. Okay, we're just logistics, So we find ourselves in the Parsha of Shalach Lecha, sometimes just called Shalach. It's a fun thing to say, Shalach Lecha. It's a lot of in there. And there's a few things that happen in this portion. I'm going to be chanting from the relative beginning of it because, not the very beginning, because that's a bunch of names, the names of the spies, but basically the meat of the portion, which is that God commands Moses to send spies in to the land of Canaan to see what's happening. What's this all about? All right? What's interesting, and of course I don't have the correct verse because that's the very beginning, is that this same story is recounted in Devarim. And it's recounted differently. Is it God who sent it? Or did the people tell Moses they needed to send spies? We're going to be discussing that in Torah study tomorrow and comparing the two texts. So I'm not going to give anything away. All I'm going to give you tonight are those verses where the spies are sent, leaving it open for the rest of the exploration in Rabbi's sermon and in our Torah study to follow tomorrow. So we are going to be reading from Numbers 13, verses 17 through 20, and you can find it in that the big blue book. Don't put away the little blue book, though, because I'm going to give the Aliyah. Well, I was going to give it to everyone, but actually, can I give you the Aliyah? I would like to give Rabbi Kramer the Aliyah for being so kind to lead with me tonight. I don't know if you noticed, Rabbi Robinson's not here.
I'm not Rabbi.
This is not Rabbi Robinson. This is Rabbi Michael Kramer, our beloved friend and community member. And Rabbi Robinson, along with many, many members of our community, are currently on the trip to Israel, which means they are not here. And we miss them, but we are delighted to be joined by Rabbi Michael Kramer. And if I could find the blessing, that would be helpful. All right. So, you don't mind. I know, I figured you did too. But just in case, and I will put the mic on you, sir.
Okay. Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai
Baruch Adonai Hambarach L'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen. I didn't give you the page number. You can find it on page 980. 980. And as I told Rabbi earlier, we start smack dab in the middle of a column. There are no indentations. There's no nothing. It's just a lot of text. So give me a moment to find where we are. Amen. Vayishlach otam Moshe letur et eretz Canaan. Vayomer alehem alu zeh b'negev valitem et ahar. Uritem et haaretz mahi ve'et ha'am hayoshev alecha echazakhu ha'ofeh ham'atu imrav Uma haaretz asher hu yoshev ba hatova hi imra Uma he'arim asher hu yoshev ba'ina hab ma'anim im b'mivtsarim Uma haaretz hashmenahi im raza hayish ba'etz im ayin vehit chazaktem v'tem mipri haaretz v'hayamim yemei bikorei anavim. Hold on for a few minutes longer.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Natan Lanu Torat Emet V'chayei Olam Nata B'tochenu Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen. We rise as we are able for the lifting and blessing of the Torah.
Let me tell you, first of all, what a pleasure it is for me to be here today. I'm going to take you back a little bit to my youth. When I was growing up, I had a fear of giants. Perhaps I was a little scared when my parents told me the story of Jack and the Beanstalk or the Billy Goat Scruff. These were certainly fearsome characters, but the protagonists managed to overcome the massive opponents. I am sure that this is an anxiety that many youngsters have. No, the giants that I feared were different. They were always threatening and menacing. They were big and powerful. They were a fierce and awesome group that always gave the Brooklyn Dodgers a fight for the pennant. I don't know what the meaning of giants are in dreams or stories, but we can all use our imagination. Giants must represent our unconquerable fears. They symbolize an obstacle on the road to our accomplishments or achievements. If we do not overcome them, then we never reach our goals and we stagnate. We ourselves never grow. It is only in conquering our giants that we gain self-confidence and grow. In the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, Jack and his mother are only poor peasants until Jack climbs the beanstalk and encounters the giant. It is only when he gathers the courage that he steals the goose that lays the golden eggs and cuts down the giant on the beanstalk. It is only in conquering his giant that Jack rises above his peasantry. We find the same moral in the story of David and Goliath. The shepherd David easily conquered the giant Goliath, and his reward was that he later became the king of Israel. And so it is that when Moses commands the scouts to enter the land of Canaan, he asks them to report back to him and requests that they tell him what the land is like. What kind of country is it? Are the people who dwell in it strong or weak, few or many? Is the country in which they dwell good or bad? Are the towns that they live in open or fortified? Is the soil rich or poor? Is it wooded or not? But we see what we want to see. We can see either the dangers or the possibilities. We can look out at the sky and see the beautiful blue sky, or see the few clouds lingering on the horizon. We can see the glass half full or half empty. As Robert Kennedy stated, some people see things and ask why. I see things and say, why not? It is the strength to visualize what is possible that makes some stand above the crowd. But aside from Caleb and Joshua, the scouts had their own agenda, and they ignored Moses' request. When they entered the land, they were not concerned with whether the land was fertile. They were not able to visualize a future Israelite homeland. All they could see were the obstacles. And as they tell Moses about the land, their exaggerations became larger and larger. First, they tell Moses that the people were powerful. But when this is not intimidating or frightening enough, they embellish the story some more. There are Anakites or giants who live in the land. And finally, in desperation, the scouts refer to the Nephilim, or to the demi-godlike people that are hinted at in the prehistory of Genesis. And as if this is not enough, they not only overstate the dangers of the inhabitants of Canaan, but they diminish their own abilities. We look like grasshoppers to ourselves, and so we must look to them. Clearly, the Israelite spies had little confidence in their ability. Why were the spies so fearful? Why didn't they have the sense of purpose and strength that Caleb and Joshua had? What lack of character pervaded them that they completely missed the nature of the land? And I believe that the answer to these questions is found at the end of the Torah portion in what is called the Maftir, in a completely unrelated passage. Far from the intriguing story of the scouts, the Torah portion ends with the commandment to wear tzitzit, to wear fringes on the corners of their garments. The knots and the tzitzit numerically remind us of the 613 commandments in the Torah. By keeping our eyes on the tzitzit, we are reminded of our obligations. And though there were no tzitzit in the days of the scouts, I will submit that what the Torah portion is telling us is that we must keep our eyes on the prize. The tzitzit are a constant reminder that we must have faith. The Orthodox wear under their garments a garment called arba kanfot. Nothing should dissuade us from the observance of God's commandments, and most assuredly, not our fears. In addition to the 5 books of the Torah, I've also read the 7 books of Harry Potter. And like our Torah portion this evening, they focus on contending with one's fears. Like many books of literature, it pits the forces of good against the forces of evil, the light side against the dark side, Harry Potter and his friends against Voldemort and the Dementors. There are some who are so afraid of the antagonist that they call him he who must not be named, as if even to whisper his name would cause great harm. The story demonstrates that if a young man of 15, with all of his adolescent issues, can find the courage to fight evil, then we adults can also. We cannot afford to look at the obstacles we face and yell in fear, as the spies Moses sent into Canaan said. As they said, we saw the giants, the Nephilim, and we must have looked like grasshoppers to them. And our Torah portion said that the whole community broke out in loud cries, and the people wept through the night. Of course, we know that throughout our history there has been many times when people have exhibited fearlessness when faced with dire circumstances. Just like Harry Potter, as Jews, we have encountered many Voldemorts and have not been fearful of saying their names. When we have faith, nothing can make us afraid. When we keep our eye on the prize, when we understand in our hearts what is important in life, then the giants we see become conquerable, and anything we seek to accomplish is possible. This is the lesson that the Israelite scouts missed. May their tale be a reminder to us that our fears should not conquer us, and that we should conquer our fears, and that with a little faith, all is possible.
Yasher Koach, and thank you so much again for those beautiful words. We continue our service on page 282 as we rise as we are able for Aleinu L'Shabeach.
Please be seated. In nature's ebb and flow, God's eternal law abides. When tears dim our vision or grief clouds our understanding, we often lose sight of God's eternal plan. Yet we know that growth and decay, life and death, all reveal a divine purpose. God, who is our support in the struggles of life, is also our hope in death. We have set God before us and shall not despair. In God's hands are the souls of all the living and the spirits of all flesh. Under God's protection we abide, and by God's love are we comforted. O life of our life, soul of our soul, cause your light to shine into our hearts and fill our spirits with abiding trust in you. On page 294 is the Kaddish, but we ask those who are in immediate mourning to rise to say the Kaddish. Those who are in Shaloshim in the 30 days of mourning to rise. Those who are in their year of mourning, and those whose custom it is to rise to say Kaddish. For all. Page 294.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah be'alma divrach hirotei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'vyom echon u'chayei l'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alah mulamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudsha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushvichata v'nechemata ta'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya L'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'roma, huya aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
This evening we say Kaddish for Esther Schatz, Carolyn Wolf, Lirtus Weinstock, Gilbert Sloan, David Joseph Hark, Kathleen Greschler, Rose Bernhardt, Ruth Cantor, Gertrude Cooper-Smith, Louis Diamond, Sadie Diamond, Shirley Friedman, Edna Goldberg, Sadie Heisler, Milton Kurtz, Herman Monhait, Ruth Orlin, Joseph Pincus, Rose Siegel, Gussie Series, Abraham Stein, Rose Stolper, and Zelda Wasserman. Are there any others for whom we say Kaddish at this time?
Jesse Flynn.
Okay. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, to which we say, Amen.
Amen. We can be seated. A few closing announcements before we close, before we finish in song. I want to say, again, a huge thank you to my rabbinic partner tonight, to Rabbi Michael Kramer, to my music director, our music director, Dennis Stewart, and of course to our board member, Rachel Blumenfeld, for being with us tonight. And I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight. It's lovely to see all of you. I see quite a few new faces, actually, and many friendly and familiar faces. I know I was a little nervous knowing that a lot of our regulars are currently in Israel, so it's lovely to see all of you here and to pray and to hear your voices. If you didn't know, Rabbi is on sabbatical this summer, so it's going to be a lot of me and various rabbinic partner guests this summer. It should be a lot of fun, with Rabbi popping in and out sporadically throughout, but he gets his well-deserved sabbatical, so that'll be lovely. And I invite you to keep coming back and enjoy singing. There'll be a lot of singing this summer. Not that there's not always a lot of singing. But I look forward to really trying out some fun new things, but also just leading you all in prayer a lot. Torah study tomorrow, Zoom only, with me at 9:30 a.m. The link is in the weekly email. And that also has a link to our study texts. Like I already mentioned, there'll be some comparing and contrasting on the story of the spies, which will be interesting. Anything else? Oh, and we have an oneg follow, as usual. We have nosh. It's very important to eat. Right outside in our lounge area or in the social hall. It's in one of those areas right after services. We'll do motzi after our closing song. And Rabbi, did I miss anything?
I think you got it all.
Well, if I didn't, we have our
Final hymn.
Sabbath lights, which will have stuff about the summer all throughout, and of course, check our weekly email. For those who are new, please do not forget to introduce yourselves to us before you leave. We would love to get to know you. We are going to close on page 343 with Ozi V'Zimrat Ya, and I want to hear those harmonies for those who are so inclined. 343. Ozi v'zimrat ya, v'yehi li lishua. Ozi v'zimrat ya,
Adonai oz li'amo yitain. May God give strength to God's people. Adonai yivrech emo v'ashalom. May God, Adonai yivrech emo v'ashalom. May God bless his people with peace. Amen.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Wait.
Wait, 1 minute.
Motzi. We rise for the motzi. And then feel free to go eat. Ha-motzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our prayer is joyfully said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.